America's finest. Along with Charles Davis. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led out by their quarterback, a day 3 selection in this year's draft.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Looking to throw. Wells. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Myers. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Again, he'll drop to throw. Complete to Myers, the tight end. The numbers for him from a week ago. 8 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
Up the middle they go. Sykes. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. Back to throw. Wells. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
They bring their punter out there now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Now you look at this defense. Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Henley. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
You want to see a defensive coordinator get upset and throw his headset? This is the kind of play that'll do it. You force 3rd and long. This is almost sort of a give-up play. You're just hoping to get something positive, and it winds up breaking big, and they convert on 3rd down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Dawson. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. They'll bring a tight end in motion right. Now a handoff up the middle. Britton stiff-armed him. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. They'll keep it on the ground. Britton. And he'll work down inside the 45.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Well, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. What a play. The big man comes up with the interception. Puts together, Charles, a nice little return, too.
Yeah, he's not going to make anybody forget Darrell Green or Rod Woodson, but look at him lug that thing. He decided it was his. A lot of people might have thought about lateraling it there. No shot. Trying to take it the distance.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. They'll have very good starting field position here after the turnover as they search for the first points of the ball game.
Here we go. Check, Panther. Check.
They go play action here on first down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
He may go. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Wells got a man, and he hits him in stride. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. 2nd and 4. They can still get a first down without scoring. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. Up the middle they go. McCullough. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. A 4-receiver set here, 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Wells. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. Here we go now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Well, now how about this return? And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The visitors' offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And he's been very impactful when using his legs this year, both when the pocket breaks down and by design. You notice his name sits near the top when looking at the league leaders in rushing yards by a quarterback. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. When you look at this defense, they've had their trouble stopping the run, Charles. Currently 29th in the NFL in that department.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. Looking to throw. Henley. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys that have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 4. Off the play fake. Henley. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Back to throw again. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And they'll send the tight end in motion. They'll look to throw again. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 80 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down. Back to throw. Henley. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Now 2nd and 5. In motion, the tight end. 2nd and 5. He finds his man, complete. That's Dawson. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. Week 7 action, and we've got a 7-point game here in the second quarter. And this offense hoping to change that right here. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
And sometimes when you run a screen pass down in the red zone, it's really tough to create a lot of room to operate. The field's pretty condensed. But that was really well designed there, and they're able to pick up a first down.
They'll try to run it with Morris. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun, Henley. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown. Plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Now a handoff up the middle. Dupree. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw. Wells. He finds his man, complete. It's Newman. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. In motion goes the tight end. 2nd and 13. Throw left side complete. That's Myers. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Being chased out left. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Operating from the gun. Wells. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. From the 23, here's second down at a yard. Off play action. Wells. And it'll be intercepted. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
Off the play fake. Henley. Oh, he stays up. Looking deep downfield. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. From the gun on third down. Henley. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's second down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Tough spot here, third down and 11. Operating from the gun. Henley, he's going to float this one deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line.
Oh, my goodness. I'll tell you what, third down, all you're thinking is, what can we do to keep this drive going to get enough yardage to move the sticks? You're certainly not thinking about taking this one almost the length of the field. But that's exactly what happens here. What a play, and what a change of fortunes.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal. Back to throw. Henley. He's got it. Touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And his guys have taken the lead. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Point after, right down the middle, and that makes the score 14-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp. and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Off play action. Wells. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, Sykes. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. He finds his man, complete. It's Newman. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 2. He finds his man, complete. It's Rhodes. And all the way in for the touchdown. A big play there. 48 yards. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So on this drive, the rookie leads him into the end zone, Charles, and that helps cancel out the points that were created on the previous drive when he threw the interception.
Yeah, let's give some credit to this rookie because instead of hanging his head after his mistake leads to a touchdown, he comes back out and he's firing and made up for it right there. A well-executed series helps reestablish some confidence in him to run this offense.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. Throwing to start the drive. Henley, he finds his man, complete. It's Dawson. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Here's 2nd and 8. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. And they'll send the slot in motion left. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. Some great games still to come, and I think we highlighted one of the better ones right there, as that promises to be a tight one. Plenty to like about the late afternoon games as well. As you see by the highlight, these guys are in for a battle, taking on what should be a very tough opponent. And then lastly, on Sunday Night Football,
the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one, and we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee Wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
They'll try the left side. Britton, and he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Foreseeing completion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. Up the middle they go. Britton. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They'll keep it on the ground. Britton. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun, Henley. And this is going to be intercepted. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Off the bootleg, Wells. He finds his man, complete. That's Newman. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now a give right side. Dupree. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Pitch and catch there good for 13. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Now a handoff up the middle. Dupree trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Back to throw now on first down. He finds his man, complete. That's Dawson. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Operating from the gun. Henley. Looking middle, and that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Up the middle they go. Britton, and he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, and he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. Second and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
A tough spot here. 3rd and 15. Looking to throw. Henley. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down at 5. Operating from the gun. Wells. He finds his man. Complete. It's Rhodes. A 5-yard pass on 1st down and another 5-yard connection there.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Now a handoff up the middle. Dupree. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Now 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Up the middle they go. Sykes. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
It's 3rd down and 5.
Back to throw. Wells. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Lopez. And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. From 17 yards out. And his guys are going to take the lead. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So that drives 7 plays in length. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Back now here on EA Sports, as we're about ready to rock and roll for the fourth and final quarter. Now a handoff up the middle. Britton. Nifty move. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 80 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Britton. And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Now it's Morris. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. From the gun on 3rd down. Henley. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Boy, what a start to the week this has been. All tied 4th quarter as the kick's away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Looking to throw. Wells. He finds his man. Complete. That's Rhodes. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 15 yards on the play. 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
A quick throw complete into the flat out left. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 4 receivers to keep tabs on here. 3 of them to the right side on 2nd and 5. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He finds his man, complete. It's Newman. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun, Wells. He finds his man, complete. That's Bush. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And his kick is right there. It's good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Back to throw. Henley. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them a lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
Andy, do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. They'll start on the ground here on first down. They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Up the middle they go. Dupree, and forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I think as a running back in this spot, you have to understand there's not going to be a whole lot of room to run. And in this case, ball protection takes precedent over trying to make something happen.
He finds his man complete. That's Newman. And he is going to lose yardage here. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Now a give, right side. Dupree, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And on now is the punter as he's on here to punt it away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds. And they'll spot it right at the 20. This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. He finds his man complete. That's Dawson. Not good. They didn't move the football an inch, and precious time ticking off the clock.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Here comes 2nd down.
Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man.
And did he get in? No. They'll mark him out at the 1-yard line.
Oh, man, disappointment that he couldn't finish that off in the end zone. What an effort there, doing all he can to get to the pylon, and he's going to wind up out of bounds just short. But a huge play there, going to set him up with 1st and goal from very short range.
Here's 1st and goal.
He's back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the 4th quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And able to get this out to the 25. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
Back to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they need a touchdown, and here they're saying, we're not going to get it 10 yards at a time. They felt they needed to take a shot there to at least get them across the 50, but that one falls incomplete.
He'll buy, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And they take a knee. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors, and it took a big fourth quarter to do it, but bottom line, they got the job done.
Yeah, it is the bottom line, isn't it? A few anxious moments along the way, though, a few sweaty palms, not just for the team, but for their fans. As you mentioned, down going into the fourth quarter. How about the rally? How about the comeback? Getting it done on both sides of the ball, holding them when they needed to, and finding ways to get points when they had the football.
So for our visitors, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, it's yet another loss as they've started out now 0-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.